Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all. 8-7-10.
Welcome to Club 120. The ultimate roundtable for diehard Cubs fans and lovers of all things sports and lifestyle.
Strike three, you're out.
Hosted by Neil and Nate, two former baseball players and coaches turned loud mouths with strong opinions and even stronger banner. Get ready for quick-hitting, time-answer segments packed with wit, laughs, and the occasional heated debate. From analyzing Cubs on-field action to diving into off-field drama, no topic is off limits. So grab your glove, pour a drink, and pull up a seat at Club 120, where the banner's quick, the takes are hot, and the Cubs always come first. Let's get started.
Play ball.
Hello, Cubs fans. It's 120. You know what time it is. Grab an old style and a bleacher seat inside of Club 120. Cactus League is in full swing. The Cubs have had a hot start to the desert. I'm Nate. I'm here with the host who had a 7th grade home ec class with Clark the Cub, Neil. What's on our lineup card today?
Oh, geez. You are just absolutely full of them. Man, I tell you what, we finally lost a couple games. So that's, some might look at that as a positive. Like let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Let's get that over with. So might be good, might be bad. Who knows? But yeah, man, we're here. As always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And thanks for spending a little bit of your week with us. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And comment as you watch along. That'd be awesome. So we're going to kick off. Here we go. We're ready to go. Nate, it is early, but actually, let me run down the list of what we're going to talk about today. So our category, it's early, but that'll be our first one. And then a new top 30. MLB released its top, its top 100 prospects throughout Major League Baseball and throughout minor league baseball. And the Cubs, obviously, where their top guys stand and who's in the top 30, who's out, and who's in. What's that?
I've got a couple of surprises for you on that list.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the move, we've started making cuts from I don't know, 4,000 people that start spring training, and it whittles down over time. So I think I don't know what we're down to at this point. I think it's I don't know what's that?
I believe we're at 59.
59. So who's still there, who's hanging on, who's moving on, and smart or cheap. This is a good one. This is one of my favorite topics. Obviously, for those of you that have listened to us before, how I feel about this. Are the Cubs, are the ownership, are they smart? Are they cheap? Week 2, reality check, and finally a new segment that will reappear throughout the year. A little bit of a contest, if you will, sticks versus swords. So we're excited to get to that too. So here we go. Nate, kick us off. It's early, but
are we worried about guys with no options? Well, let's talk about it. Let's do a little out of options checkup with our guys. How do you feel about Tyson Miller?
I think the bullpen, like we've talked about this, how crowded the bullpen is, right? Like these guys that are out of options, man, it makes it tough because you gotta, I think, I don't know what that segment was, or move in or move out, like, and I think he's moving out. Honestly, what about you? What do you think?
Man, that's a tough one, right? Because he was our 7th guy, 8th inning guy last year, right? And it was when Tyson Miller comes in, he was flipping those biscuits up there. The one thing with Tyson, I'll tell you, is it takes a minute. So let's be patient. Let's give him like maybe 2 more appearances before we freak out. And I'll say it's early, but I'm concerned. How about Julian Mayweather on the other end?
Yeah, man, I've always liked Julian Mayweather. I feel that's one, when you're betting, when you're a sports gambler or whatever they say, don't bet with your heart. Julian's one of those guys you just absolutely root for. You love, you like him. You want him to see him to do well. So Julian's one of those guys I root for. So to see him have a little bit of success, and I'm rooting for him. I hope he stays. I hope he makes it.
Nice.
But
Okay.
it's early.
But it's early. It's early, but is Gage Workman going to make the roster?
Dude, Gage Workman is the man's cooking, right? Like, he makes a hard argument for if Matt Shaw's not ready to go.
Right.
Like, I think you got to take him. I think you got to take him to Tokyo.
I don't disagree there. I don't disagree. I would like to see him at least get some more consistent at bats, even though Shaw's going to be getting the majority of them here, right? See if they can figure this out. I mean, they do have a reason to keep him. He's a Rule 5 guy, so it's going to cost them money over to our cheap or smart column later, right? Last one, and I'll send this one to you. I think this is the biggest key to the entire deal. You ready? It's not King Tuck. Dansby looks healthy. It's early, but Dansby looks healthy.
Yeah, he does too. Man, the only thing I'll say about Dansby is I do feel like he looks healthier. I feel like he's performing at a high level, but I also feel like there's more of a business approach to Dansby this go around. I don't know. I don't know if that's me looking into it, reading into it, but I feel like Dansby's approach is more business-like than in years past.
Could be. Could be just settling in, realizing that this is how much money he's going to be making, right? He's got his house under order. He's, bought all the things he needs to buy. He's not chasing anything anymore. Maybe he's just going to settle in and be a top, 5 shortstop in the league like he was supposed to be and paid as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for Dansby to have I'm really, if he's healthy as they say he is, this go around, and of course we didn't know about the injuries last year, so if he's healthy, I'm ready to see what kind of year he can have. Hopefully, it's a pre-Cubs type season for Dansby.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to that. One of the other things we always look forward to is prospects. We love prospects. We love talking about it. Could be their performance, could be their value, right? I mean, prospects have 2 values, right? Whether they're playing for you or whether you're trading them for players that are going to play for you. So let's take a look. They just updated the rankings because several things just happened. A lot of guys are currently being assigned for their first time out of rookie ball last year, short season, things like that. So there's a short list is being updated. Let me update you with the top 5 here, Neil. Let me know whenever. Just stop me whenever you find something wrong with this list. Okay. Number 1, Matt Shaw. Number 2, Cade Horton. Number 3, Owen Casey. Number 4, Moises Ballesteros. Number 5, James Triantos.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Did you want to stop? Okay, go ahead.
I do. I want to stop because if Kevin Alcantara is not number 1, not number 1, if he's not number 2 or 3, I don't know who makes these lists, but they don't watch baseball.
It's an interesting deal, right? Can we get a confirmation that it's Alcantara, because there is nobody on Marquee right now that can pronounce his name correctly. It's they're going with Alcantara, and I don't know where the A is in front of the L or after the L. It's
that's
Alcantara with an.
I'm not going to.
The A. I'm not going to get into it, but look, Marquee Sports needs to step up their name game a little bit. But yes, there's your first one, right? Like, let's be honest. How is he not in the top 3? Then we go down the list here. Some big jumps. Let me go with some jumps, right? That's our big topic. Let me go with some jumpers here. Big jump. Birdsell jumps from like 20th to 8th. So big jump from him this year. And the biggest one on here is a shortstop that does not even have a picture. And I'm going to give you a name to watch, Cubs fans, and we're going to be here. You've seen a little bit of it, maybe online a little bit. Juan Thomas. He is 17 years old. He is 6'2", 177 pounds. He probably has some YouTube videos out there that make most 17-year-olds look really, really, really small. Apparently, he has the highest ceiling of anybody, including any of these dudes that we just named. And it was a steal for 1.1 million. So let's keep an eye on Juan Thomas. As far as the rookies are concerned this year. Won't see much of those, but the rest of it looks pretty normal. They just can't figure out what to do with the Jaguar. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and that's listen, if you have it, and I'll put the list up there on the screen so that the people watching can see. But one thing I want everyone to go check out on this list. I'll put the link in there. One of the things you need to go check out is our number 16 prospect is Jack Neely, and you got to check out that stash on this guy. I mean, that sucker is in mid-season form.
For the dog pound, he's going to be the fireman. All right, he's going to be the fireman. Get him the Dalmatian dog and everything. Like we're here for it, right?
I like it. Yeah,
the fireman Jack Neely. We need to get him up. He needs to be striking dudes out, putting these fires out. Right? Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So the next topic is on the move. The Cubs have already started making roster moves within the first week of spring training. Obviously, I think we're 7-8 days away from the Cubs playing meaningful games in Tokyo. So, the moves have to come a little bit quicker than probably most clubs. What do you have as far as roster moves?
Well, I'll hit you with a couple real quick. Speaking of Neely, he was optioned to AAA. Poteet, Holloway, and Killian all were sent down in this latest wave. Excuse me. And that's probably, not shocking, right? I think we had Neely on the bullet train from Iowa back and forth. So Killian's going to go down there. He's got one more shot, I think, to stretch out, be the ace down there and be a guy for next year. As far as that's concerned, that's what they're looking for. I do have one that I'm going to throw at you real quick because it's worth a little bit of a note of discussion. A young man named Yency Almonte is back. Do you think this is good, or does this sound any alarms for any of these guys that we just named or others?
I don't know much about Yency because we DFA'd him, right? Was that right?
We did, but it was injury based, right? So he came over with the Bush deal. Him and Bush came over. He pitched a little bit, got hurt, and then his deal expired. So I think it was an expiring deal at the end of the scenario. But he was, sitting there on the pile, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And as we look at the pile, right, you've got former Cubs Robertson out there. You've got some guys that are, getting some pub on the internet right now as far as who the Cubs should sign, simply because they have affiliations with them previously. And that they go with Almonte, who had a handful of appearances and was part of a deal that really was, quite honestly, the Michael Bush deal. And it's still paying us. So I don't know. I just wonder, does this block any of the guys like Keegan or Merriweather or any of the guys that are out of options that have to perform in the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, I can't speak any education into that because I have to see him throw.
Sure.
The other thing I do want to mention with this group that's already been sent to AAA camp or minor league camp is Poteet, right? So the outrage here, if you are on Cubs Twitter, which I'll warn you is a dangerous space. The Poteet noise, right, being sent down as well, that officially makes the Bellinger deal a cash dump. And it's like, yeah, if you didn't know that the Bellinger deal was a cash dump from Jump Street, like, welcome to Baseball 101. And I think anybody that thought Poteet was going to pump a lot of innings on the major league roster was sorely mistaken from Jump Street. Like, this has always been a cash dump. I think the way that they're operating is they want, and that's going to lead us into the next category, right? Is this smart or cheap? Let's just keep rolling. Let's just go right into it. I think that one of the things about this deal with Bellinger was I think they want some flexibility, and it would be nice to have a little bit of cash and a little bit of wiggle room going into the trade deadline. Like, if the guys on the roster are able to perform to their level and meet their expectation, and we are on pace for 93 wins, then we've got $20-25 million. I don't know, maybe 15. I don't know what it is today, but we've got money to go out there and get somebody and a cupboard full of prospects.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is the front office smart or cheap?
So I've got theories on this, right? So let's converge some things together. I believe that there's a zero-sum game Tom Ricketts is playing with 2026, and this will keep coming up, and we'll get there. So just understand that that's my conspiracy level theory, is that Tom Ricketts literally wants $0 on budget when we go to lockout, or as little as possible, right? He does not. 2027. Sorry. Yes, 27. To scare everybody. It's not moved up. Yes, 2027 season. He wants as little on the books as possible to be paying these people, honestly, and that's his business strategy. Whereas the Dodgers have chosen to defer everything into kingdom come and hope that the Lord comes before they have to pay these guys the money that they owe them. Here's the thing. Every championship team in all sports has a convergence of two things: good, influential veterans that are really contributing, one super strong aspect of their game, whether that's their offensive or defensive scenario, and an influx of young talent that makes it affordable to pay those big dogs all the money. Now, if you take the way baseball is structured, we have first or second year guys at 3 premium positions. Stay with me now. The top 5 salaries are over $20 million per at center field, first base, and third base. And we are starting Matt Shaw, Michael Busch, and Pete Crow Armstrong. We're saving tons of money here. Are we smart or are we penny pinching? I can't tell you that answer. What if it's both? What if we have this beautiful convergence and we're whining that we didn't sign Cody Bellinger and Tucker and Sasaki and, Tanner Scott, and we didn't offer enough for Bregman? What if we just looked at it and said the budget says this much, this is how we're going to win, and we have enough talent with these kids that we're going to save $15 million per position, and Tom Ricketts still gets to be happy? We get a chance to compete. I can't say no yet. I think we're kind of smart. I think we're smart and cheap.
I think but I think you nailed it right on the head, man. Like, here's the thing. Here's the kicker, right? Like you, and I say this all the time. I say this to my children. I say it all the time. Like, you can't be on both sides. You can't be the bully and the victim. Like, so you can't be the guy online saying we have the best farm system look at all these prospects, play the kids. If I saw play the kids one more time during last season,
right,
and now you're the same guy that's yelling, go get Soto, go get Bregman, go get all these guys to replace the kids. Like,
right.
What are you doing? Like, so build these kids up to eventually replace them. And so you can't be both, right? You can't be the guy that we want a farm system to develop these players into contributors, or you can be that guy, or you can be the guy who wants a farm system to develop these kids into trade pieces.
You're both. You have to. The problem is that the Cubs built themselves into both because they're a big market team, which with expectations. but also they have a really good farm system. And the casualties of that are the dumps, like Canario, right? People are up in arms about that, but he's just a casualty of a really good farm system with too many outfield prospects, no position available at the big league level. And quite honestly, he did not perform well enough in the last 3 spring trainings to flicker anybody's hope and stay healthy enough to take him off our hands.
And the
So,
signing of Kyle Tucker.
and then you go sign Kyle Tucker, but dude, there was Bellinger there anyway, right? So like let's just
Yeah.
then you have Suzuki, or you can call it any number of ways, but the reality is Canario probably should have just been included in the Tucker deal. And then we wouldn't have had to bitch about it, right? Like there's a couple more prospects here that if you just wait another hour where you can just kind of let your two farm systems sync up, you can dump a guy, trade a guy, and end up with what you wanted. But that's just how it works. So hey, while we've got it though, we have a very special, very, very good deal here right now for everybody, because this is going to be a year-long scenario.
Week 2 reality check.
Oh, yes. Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, you are.
My reality check is I'm already so excited for the regular season, but the reality is we still got to practice, and we're winning the practice league. So we can't, what more do you want? I just want everybody to have fun. Like you said this all the time whenever I ask you, who do you want to win a game? And it's a random NFL game. You're like, I just want both teams to have a good time and be healthy. And we're at that point now, because this team, as currently constructed, minus Kyle Tucker not ever getting a hit apparently, is exciting to watch. The prospects are deep and fun, so enjoy this next few weeks of practice games, folks. But this team's fun, and it's going to be fun to watch. So I'm already there. What's my reality check this week? Guys have to keep stepping up around here, and that's a good place to be. That's my reality check, and I like it. I like that we have to talk about Tyson Miller, who was supposed to be our 7th inning guy, pretty much walked in, penciled in right now. I like that we have to talk about that. So what's your reality check? Is there anything there that, besides a rain delay or anything else, that might throw you off track here? So
that's the one reality check is, obviously I'm not going to go down that rant again about how we're going to play. We're winning the practice league, and then we're going to pause the practice league for a week and go play real baseball, and then come back to the practice league. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but my reality check is, man, freaking PCA, Captain Chaos, whatever the heck you want to call. I mean, Little League freaking home run yesterday. I mean, the guy. Listen, I don't want to bring back memories of, but he's as fun to watch. He's as must see TV as Javi Baez was back in the day. Like when he freaking stole first against the Pirates. Like, I mean, PCA is baseball that you have to tune in for, and I'm freaking here for it. I can't wait for it.
All right, I got you right here. A few seconds left. While you're on PCA, would you right now give him the Evan Longoria deal? Buy out his arbitration, get going early on it, and just make him your superstar for the future? Yes or no?
Oh, man, that's so tough, because I want to, but at the same time, I don't. I'm nervous about 2027. It's like you said earlier. Like, we've already talked about that. Like, I'm nervous about the lockout. I don't know. That's tough to say. I'd give anybody any long-term anything without knowing what we're in store for.
Yeah, that's it's an interesting topic, because there's going to be several guys on that list over the next 2 years. Bush would be one. PCA is another one. Steele's on the hook coming up, right? So he's about to be very expensive. So it's going to be interesting to see. Speaking of Justin Steele, we have a pitchers versus hitters contest that we were going to put up. We're going to start it now, just because we'd love to see these guys, and we really want to build this thing up, because we're going to keep this thing for the whole year. We're going to go 5 pitchers, and we're going to go 5 hitters. Now, I get the swords. That's my pitchers. We're going to be collecting swords, and that's going to be the number of total Ks for the year. I get 5 pitchers. We get to total them up, and that's the game. You get 5 hitters. Neil, who's going to hit leadoff for you?
Yeah. So my 5 hitters. Well, yeah. Okay. We'll go. You want to just go one at a time?
Sure. We're not going to match them up individually, but I wouldn't mind seeing who your ace is. Who's your top dog versus mine? Let's see what you got.
Okay. I'm going. Yeah. Sure. I'm going Kyle Tucker.
Okay. All right, I'll throw him against Shota. We can do individuals, but we'll do totals overall. But that would be a fun one, right? Shota versus Tucker, who has more hits versus Ks.
No, we don't have to match them one at a one, but we're playing a team game here. But it's like the All-Star draft. You pick, and then I pick. Then
I'm going to roll out Justin Steele for my second rounder.
Okay, I'm going Ian Happ.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to take his left and right.
Total hits. We're talking total hits.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't have a pitcher that can throw with 2 hands, so.
Well, he gets the same amount of ABs.
All right. So let me go J-Mo next. Let me go J-Mo. I think he's going to have actually an uptick. I really like the way he pounded the zone a lot last year, and I think he's actually going to work on some extra swing and miss this year. So I like that to be a really good deep make that lineup deep for me.
I'm going Bush. Michael, he's had a great spring so far. He is absolutely what I like about him is he's not, I mean, in the air, right, when people say he's not hitting the ball in the air, I mean, he's hitting the ball in the air, but he's hitting the ball in the air the right kind of way. He's not, popping up to the shortstop or second baseman. Like, I mean, he's hitting the ball in the air on a line. And so I'm going to go Michael Bush.
He's a baller, man. I really do enjoy him. I do. I think that was, no matter what the outcome is with who he was flipped for, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me, right? Like he's our first baseman for the next 5 years minimum, right? So that's great. My 4 spot as a newcomer here, we're gonna go with Matthew Boyd. We're gonna flip another lefty up there, and we're gonna see if he can roll off of his playoffs experience last year and really give us a nice
Hold on,
kick.
you cut out there. Who did you say?
Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd is my 4 spot.
Okay, Boyd. Okay.
We're going to roll off of the playoff positive, and we're going to see if he's going to take his game to the next level. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going chalk right here, right? Like, I don't know if you have any surprises on your list, but let's see who you got.
I think this one might surprise you as far as who I have, and that is Dan. I'm going Dansby here.
Okay.
I like I said earlier, I think there's a business approach to him this year that I like. I think he seems dialed in. He seems healthy and ready to go. I like it. I'm going Dansby.
That could be your key right there, right? If Dansby wraps out 175 to 200 hits this year, we're going to be in a really, really good spot, and probably ends this deal, unless the dog pound shows up, and that's Ben Brown. Ben Brown with 11, 12 Ks per 9. If when he gets this 5th roll right here, and we take him to 125 to 140 innings, I'm telling you right now, we're this one's over right here. This is it. When Ben Brown gets this 5th spot, and I'm gonna put him in it right now. Ben Brown gets this 5th spot here in my heart. I'm voting with my heart today, but he's going to get it in this rotation. And when he does, this competition is over, because every 5th day he is rolling out there, and he is a dog. So how you gonna come after that?
So I'm same deal. I'm going with my heart here. I'm going PCA. I'm all in on it now, but here's the deal. I'm gonna give you a free caveat.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to add an alternate? I will not take an alternate. I do not want an alternate. I will give you the opportunity to select an alternate in the event that Ben Brown does not ever become a starter.
Well, I'll give you the alternate as well, just in case somebody gets taken out in the next 3 weeks. So let's as in a show of good faith, because this will go live on opening day in Japan. Yes, we'll do
No,
that.
this
And
goes live tomorrow, right?
well, I mean, it goes live, but we're
Oh,
counting
the
on
contest. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Tokyo game 1, if something happens between now and then for any of our guys, then we get an alternate. That's fine. We still have practice to go, and then we have practice
Yeah,
after
but
our.
you don't want another guy just in case Ben Brown is a bullpen guy and not a starter?
Let's do it. Do you want to caveat it and say I have to play a bullpen guy and you have to take a guy that's not? Let's see, who do you have left? I'm trying to think. Because, see, I could go. All right, yeah, that's fine. Because if it's not him, see, then I would go an alternate, and I would go with Javi.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, so
see,
let's leave it how it is. Let's leave it how it is.
Javi Assad, did Javi Assad, this may be a topic for next week, and we'll tease this, but did Javi Assad do enough last year that even though he has a little bit of a knock right now, and we'll tease this to next week, but did he do enough this last year to earn the opportunity that the 5th spot is his, right? That's my thought.
Are you asking my opinion?
Assad because of that.
In my opinion, he did not. That's it. Thanks for watching. Catch us online anywhere you catch your podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us all social media platforms at Club 120 Show. Visit us online at www.club120show.com. Looking forward to seeing you there.
This has been Club 120. Neil and Nate have practically spent their entire lives doing something centered around baseball. And with these guys, you're going to get quick-hitting, time-answer segments packed with wit, laughs, and, yes, heated debates. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, you can find us on all social media platforms at Club 120 Show. And, of course, the website at www.club120show.com. Until next time, go Cubs, go!